Hey everybody, welcome back to the Chaotic Little Book Corner. My name is Acacia. Today we are struggling a little bit, I'm not gonna lie. We're struggling with a switching headache, which is comparable to a migraine. We get those when we're feeling out of whack and struggling to stay centered and present. So we're having a rougher day today. I don't really know what's happening, but for some reason we're really stressed. So we have our safety item, and it actually is fine. We figured that today, even with this issue, it would be fine to film this video because this is our announcement for the Mental Health Awareness Readathon that is starting on May 16th and going till the 22nd. Down below, I will link the original video, the List Obsessed Readers announcement video, the Twitter account, and the hashtag that will be following on Twitter for people who are participating in this readathon. There are 5 challenges, and the first challenge is to read a book with green on the cover. Green is the color of the ribbon for mental health awareness, and so we picked High Rise by J.G. Ballinger, and this has a forest green and a lime green on it. Now, for us, we have kind of been reading a little bit of dystopian recently, which is very strange for us. Usually we don't really enjoy dystopian, but we've been discovering that it's got some very interesting ideas of the psyche and what the human behavior becomes when the world is kind of in chaos and kind of surrounded by crazy. The second challenge is to read a book with a character who suffers from mental illness or mental health issues, and that one we were already going to read this month, so we figured we'd just stick with it, and this is Dead Bunnies and Make All 8 of Us Cry. This is by Annalise Collins, who sent this to us very kindly. She is such a wonderful person. We are very much enjoying getting to watch her Instagram and her Twitter and all these other things that she does, but she is wonderful. And this is about dissociative identity disorder, but in this situation, the host can see and visualizes and hallucinates her alters in a physical state. The next one is to read a nonfiction. Now, actually, the next 3 are going to be nonfictions about mental health. So the first one that is going to be a nonfiction was to just read a nonfiction, and for that one I picked Gracefully Insane, The Life and Death Inside American Premier Mental Hospital by Alec Beam. This is about the McLean Hospital in Massachusetts, which has a lot of family history for me and a lot of interest for me as well in people who have been and visited this, and this is the history of that mental health facility. So I'm very excited about that. The next one is to read a book that is written by somebody who has suffered from mental health or mental illness issues, and for that one we're going to be reading Let's Pretend This Never Happened, a mostly true memoir by Jenny Lawson. This is going to be that nonfiction, and then our final nonfiction is going to be to read a book on a mental health or mental illness that we don't know as much about. Now, what we have been really focusing on lately has been eating disorders. Now, I myself suffer from, let me rephrase that, as a system, we suffer from 3 different eating disorders. There are 3 distinct different eating disorders that are within the system in different parts of us. Now, one of them that we do suffer from that we have not really addressed as of yet, because it hasn't been an issue for a few years, it is in recovery and remission, is anorexia. Now, this is Wasted, and it's a memoir about anorexia and bulimia by Maria Hornbacher, and this is what we're hoping to kind of get a little more insight into one of our system members. We're really trying to find out a little bit more about the part that is anorexic and the part that is bulimic, even though neither of them have really been active in terms of the disorder for about 5 to 10 years. But the anorexia does become an issue on certain days when things have gotten out of hand, and they try and control things by not eating for a day to a week. Our main focus of anorexia is in the system. Her name is Mary. She is a young girl within my system who has anorexia and is a serious Christian. She is the only one within us that is severely religious, and she has a tendency to cause the body harm by avoiding eating for up to a week, and that is the way that she asserts control and dominance and it's scary when it does happen, because we will come out of a fugue state where we will be famished and be completely confused, and the actual thing that will have happened is that we will not have eaten for a week. So one of the things that we really struggle with is whether or not we have eaten as a system. So this is going to be interesting. It's going to be a very different idea of what anorexia and bulimia are, because it's going to be within one human, within one body, but I still need to find out more information in order to cope and to learn about the system parts and to work with them cohesively so that we can start to integrate. That is my TBR. It's a little heavier than I expected, but I'm totally fine with that. It's Mental Health May. I already knew I was going into heavier books. I have another book that I'm in the process of, no, I have 3 other books that I'm in the process of reading right now that are all in the 400 to 500 to 600 page land, so those will actually probably bleed into May, June sort of thing, which is totally fine. I hope you guys will participate as well. All the links are down below. If you're participating, send me a link to your announcement video. I really want to be involved. If you guys have requests, if you have questions, let me know. Now, I do know that one of my specific subscribers did ask me to do a video on 2 things. There have been 2 requests for videos on me. One is my OCD and how I cope with that, and coping skills and mechanisms that I have. So that is in the works. I have a specific part who wants to speak to that because she suffers from it more than I do. And then I also have a question of how we cope with food as a system, and that video is also taking a little bit of time because we have to cohesively get all of us on the same page without rambling at you for 45 minutes. So that is also coming, but do know that those things are in the works. They're not being forgotten, and I'm trying as best I can to get them to you guys. As always, any questions about mental illness that I suffer from, which is dissociative identity disorder, please leave them in the comments below. Let me know if you need anything, if you have any questions, and I will also link my email address personally down below if you have anything that you feel uncomfortable speaking about in the comment section. All right, guys, I will talk to you all soon, and I will see you in my next video.